We believe that our Canadian approach of focusing on suspicious transactions and working to stop money laundering at the front counter, a superior one to the American system. That is the system of so-called currently transacting business, or CTRs, which Senator Kerry says we should adopt. The U.S. law requires all banks to report cash transactions over $10,000 to the Internal Revenue Service, the central tax agency. Those are entered into a company over time, at best 4 to 6 weeks after the date of the transaction. Last year, the IRS was deluged by almost 7 million currency reports. What are they supposed to do with all the data? And for all their volume, the reports tend to be low on information. For instance, the customer does not even have to reveal the source of the cash. Presumably, the rationale in the United States is that there is no point asking criminals where they got the money because they will invariably lie. We recognize that, but declarations give us another piece of information to check out and another opportunity to dispel or confirm suspicions. Through the training programs and videos, our people are being trained to catch people out in lies. If someone says the pile of cash was won in Las Vegas, the bank employee may ask questions like, what casino, what date? For all the currency reports in the U.S. last year, the evidence to date is that they have generated virtually no money laundering leads. Their only real use has been in helping to substantiate suspicious transaction reports, which themselves have been precocious few or precious few in the U.S. American banks, it would seem, generally take the view that they discharge their anti-money laundering responsibilities simply by filling out their currency transactions reports. They are able to pass the buck, dirty or clean, to the IRS, and the tax authorities in turn must work through millions of reports weeks or months after the transaction took place. That is not good enough for me. We have been given to understand that less than 1,000 money laundering investigations arouse from the combined efforts of over 13,000 U.S. banks in the last 2 years. Contrast that number, say 500 reports a year, to the 400 incidents reported by our banks in 1989 in a country 1/10 the size. Another problem we have with the American approach is that the U.S. government is given all the currency records and just the suspicious ones. And we believe that is an undue, not just suspicion, and we believe that is an undue violation of customers' privacy and desire for confidentiality. Our Canadian practices, on the other hand, provide meaningful leads to the police and create a useful audit trail while protecting privacy. And our approach avoids bombarding the government with mounds of paper and creating new administrative burdens that government can ill afford. Let me throw modesty aside here for just a moment. Far from being a large part of the problem, the Canadian banks have been contributing strongly to the solution of the problem, and we will contribute further. We have developed an expertise in identifying suspicious transactions and conspicuous or suspicious customers. We have passed it on to a large number of employees, and we have passed it on to a very significant number of employees, and useful exchanges of information can take place. We have balanced our responsibilities to present money laundering with our responsibilities to protect customers' privacy and confidentiality.
You falling asleep, Paul, or you just can't see?
No.
You got another lamp next to you that you can turn on. Well,
Yeah.